Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another TBR video. We are choosing for December's TBR. Now I will say I am in a little bit of a reading slump, so hopefully this might help me get back on to track. But I am sitting in front of my new bookshelves and we have 5 rows of TBR. So I'm sitting on the floor in hopes that we'll be able to see more of the shelves than I normally do. Also, half of this shelf is TBR. From the left of Harry Potter is also TBR. So I felt like this is a good spot. We are going to be picking 5 books today because I'm in a bit of a slump, so I don't want to overdo it. Definitely in a slump. I don't want to overdo it by picking like 10 books because I know I'm not going to be realistically able to do that. So we're going to pick 5. I'm going to strictly stick to that 5 and not do what I do sometimes where I will randomly pick more once I keep going because it's so fun to pick them. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Prompt number 1, a memoir. I do have all of my, where are they? Memoirs like kind of in one area. Okay, they're down here. I've heard really good things about this memoir. You know what? This is my video, my TBR. I'm in a bit of a slump and I know for a fact, being in a slump, a memoir is not the kind of book that I'm going to want to pick up. So, with that said, we are going to pick a different prompt. Because just knowing me and knowing my reading taste, memoirs are my favorite nonfiction books to read. But with that said, I can probably count the amount of memoirs I've read this year on one hand. And I've read 113 books this year and I can count them on one hand. So, I don't read very many of them. So we're gonna pick a different one because I want to actually be excited for the books that I'm picking this month in hopes that it will get me out of my slump. Actual prompt number 1, an indie author. I don't think any of the books that I have, actually I do have a couple. I could do this one or this one. I have 2 books from 2 different indie authors that were gifted to me from the book retreat that I went on, and they were in our swag bags. So I could do one of these, and I've heard really great things about this one specifically from one of my best friends. So I think I might do this one. Let's see what it says. She was his sister's best friend. He was a boy she could never have. Now they're back in each other's orbit with years of tension, heartbreak, and unfinished business burning beneath the surface. When Sadie rolls into southern Utah in her home on wheels for her best friend's wedding, she's ready to keep things simple, but be the good maid of honor, keep her heart guarded, and definitely stay far away from Wes Taylor, the one man who's haunted her every mile of the road. Wes has made a quiet life in southern Utah repairing things, hanging with his rescue dog, avoiding feelings, but when Sadie crashes back into his world, fiery, free-spirited, and completely off-limit, he starts to wonder if the life he's built is really living at all. Under the desert stars, everything feels closer, even the mistakes they try to leave behind. Love was never the plan, but sometimes the wildest detours lead you right back home. That does sound really good. And then this one I know is a sports romance. Obviously you can tell by the cover. But this one says, Dakota, I don't know what I expected to come from asking my best friend for help, but her brother Calloway coming to my rescue instead is definitely not how I imagined it would play out. I'm desperately trying to pick up the pieces of my shattered reality and falling off. The Atlanta Strikers lead pitcher was not a part of the plan. He's everything I should want, yet his pursuit of me is steadfast and is slowly chipping away at my stone cold heart. Calloway, there's something about her that sings deep. I can't pinpoint it, but it has me mesmerized by her darkness. I crave it. My sister's best friend snuck up on me in the best way. I can't shake her. I'm not sure I want to. In fact, I do my best to make that clear even after she accepts the job as my league's team photographer. There are a million reasons why we would never work and 1,000,001 why I don't seem to care. So that does sound good too, but based off of how much my friend has loved this author and her writing, I'm gonna go with Always Have, Always Will by Katie West. Prompt number 2. I have to be quieter as setting down the cup because my dog seems to think that someone's at the door when I set it down on the floor. Anyway, a book with a black cover is our second prompt. Now, I do know I have some. For starters, I have House of Salt and Sorrows, but this kind of looks bluish black. I do have Circe, which has a black background and then like gold on it. To Kill a Kingdom, but I feel like this is more blue also. Alchemy of Secrets is kind of black. Project Hail Mary also could be an option. Oh, this is also a good option. Throne of the Fallen. That is a black background. I also have Caraval. Okay, I'm gonna grab the ones that are better black options than the ones that aren't. So like To Kill a Kingdom, I'm pretty sure is more blue. And then same with House of Salt and Sorrow. I think I'm gonna go with one of these. I don't think I quite want to get to Project Hail Mary yet. I want to wait till closer to the movie. So I'll put that one back. And then Cersei, I'm also going to put back because I feel like these other ones are more black. And then I don't think I'm quite in the mood for Caraval yet. That one back. So it is going to be between Throne of the Fallen or Alchemy of Secrets. Both of these sound really good to me. This is a newer release and it's also pretty short. So I feel like it could be a decently quick read. It's only 322 pages versus Throne of the Fallen is 561 pages. So a little bit more chunky, and I'm not sure if I want to commit to a book that big when I'm in the middle of a slump. So I think for that reason alone, we're gonna go with Alchemy of Secrets instead of Throne of the Fallen. Prompt number 3, we have a book with a one-word title. Let's see, I could do Cersei again. That is a one-word title. Dune is a one-word title. Scythe is a one-word title. Powerless is a one-word title, which is the next Chestnut Springs book. I have been wanting to read Homeseeking. This one seems like a good book. Again, though, this is a pretty big book. I'm gonna leave it out. It's an option. Wayward is also an option. I don't know. I don't think I'm in the mood for that one though. What is over here? I have this one called Breathless, which is like a thriller, which could be good because thrillers usually are more like fast-paced. So they could be good for getting out of a reading slump. This one called Traitor. I don't know what this one's about. Poland 1944. Okay, so it is a World War II book, which I do love a good World War II book. So that could be an option. I do have some other options, but I think these 3 are gonna be my best options. I also could do Powerless. I actually think I'm gonna switch Traitor for Powerless and choose between these 3. This one's about, there's a killer on the mountain. Journalist Cecily Wong is in over her head. She's come to Manizulu, the 8th highest peak in the world, to interview internationally famous mountaineer Charles McVeigh. On the last leg of a record-breaking series of summits, she's given up everything for this story. Her boyfriend, her life savings, the peace she's made with her climbing failures in the past. But it's a career-making opportunity that could finally put her life back on track. But when one climber dies in what everyone else assumes is a freak accident, she fears their expedition is in danger, and by the time a second climber dies, it's too late to turn back. Stranded on a mountain in one of the most remote regions of the world, she'll have to battle more than the elements in a warring fight for survival against a killer who is picking them off one by one. That sounds really good. It's also giving winter from the front cover. I think I'm gonna go with Breathless. I feel like a thriller is the way to go to help get out of a reading slump. It also matches my shirt, which is fun. Which means we are now on to prompt number 4. We only have 2 more picks left, and we are doing, it says a mystery or thriller. I literally just picked a mystery or thriller, and I do not have very many on my TBR, so we are actually going to pick another prompt. It is going to be a book with a purple cover. Could do Powerless. That is a purple cover. I feel like a little rom-com is also another good move to do to get out of a reading slump. Man, I'm hoping to get, I really want to be able to pick this book in the holidays by Christina Lauren because it is a Christmas book and December reading, so that would be a good option. Oh, I also have this one, which is a purple cover, What Happens After Midnight by K.L. Walther. It doesn't sound as good to me as Powerless does, so I think between these 2, I'm going to stick with Powerless for now. I don't really see any others that I am wanting to pick, so we're going to stick with Powerless. Add that to the TBR, and on to the final prompt for the video. We've got a next book in a series. Let me just pick one more and see if it would happen to let me pick in holidays. Kindle book. No. Okay. I just want to try one more time. I really want to read the In a Holidays book. What's this one? A book with a color in the title. Also doesn't work for In a Holidays. So we will just stick with the first one that I drew, which is next book in a series. I have quite a few fantasy books that I could pick from. I have Brandon Sanderson, The Well of Ascension, which is next book in the Mistborn series. I love how floppy these books are. I feel like this might be a little intense for a reading slump though. I do think this one, however, might be perfect. It is the second book in the Games Gods play that just came out not that long ago, and it is The Things Gods Break. Super stunning. I am really excited to read this one, and so I know that the excitement could get me to read it. I think my audiobook hold for it will be available soon too. My hold for the audiobook of this says it'll be available in 28 days, so I could possibly finish it before the end of the month with that. I think I'm gonna go with The Games Gods Break, so I feel like that seems more digestible to me during a slump than Brandon Sanderson does. That is what we're gonna go with. We have all 5 books picked. So let's go through them one by one and see what we'll be reading this month. The first prompt was an indie author, and for that I picked Always Have, Always Will by Katie West. I'm so excited to read this one. The next prompt was a book with a black cover, and I picked Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. I am so excited to read her debut into adult fantasy. Next was a book with a one-word title. I picked Breathless. This is a thriller by Amy McCulloch. And then was a book with a purple cover. I picked Powerless, the next book in the Chestnut Springs. This was on my TBR for November, but there's no way I'm getting to it by the end of this month. So we are adding it to December's TBR instead. And lastly was the next book in a series, and I am picking The Things God Break by Abigail Owen. This is the next book in the Games Gods play book, and I really enjoyed that one, so I'm super excited to get to this one as well. There we have it. My 5 books for December's TBR. Fingers crossed I get out of this slump, but we shall see. Come back in January to see if I read any of these and if I'm out of my slump or not. I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!